we're going to talk about seal-in logic. So I'm going to draw my ladder. What happens if I do a rung like this with just one output, nothing, no input? It's on. Yeah, it's just going to be on. It doesn't give me any error. If I have a light, it just tells me the machine's on, so I have power on. Sometimes that's helpful. What if I try doing, can I do a rung like that with just an input, no output? John, what happens?
Oh, okay, say that again?
What happens if I have an input with no output?
Oh, it's just not gonna do nothing. I mean, it's just gonna.
Put your electrician hat on.
Okay, so you got.
I got a hot wire, I got a switch, and I got my neutral.
Every time it's a short.
It's dead short, so I can't do it. So I can do the first one, but I can't do the second one. If I want to do a latch unlatch, I'll just draw that in real quick. There's my latch, and here's my unlatch. So that latch and unlatch, I have to have the same address for both. They have to be talking to the same output. Turn it on, turn it off. If I do my motor 14 there and my motor 15 there, what happens? 14 is going to turn on and it's never going to turn off because my unlatch is talking to a different address. So that doesn't work. They got to both be the same address. M15. Okay, I'm going to do something a little different now. So here's my, I'll just say that's my green light, that output. And here's my input. I'm going to put a branch around this. So my input's my button. And I'm going to use my green light as an input. So let's see what happens when I push my button. So my input goes hot. It's going to turn on my green light. And this guy's going to go hot. What happens when I take my finger off the button? Huh? Light's going to turn off? It's going to stay on because it's got a path of electricity going through here. So when I turn on my green light, it's going to go on and it's going to stay on. And it's never going to turn off, is it?
No, sir.
What if my power goes out? It's going to turn off. Is it going to come back on? It's not going to come back on. So this is called seal-in. What if I add another input over here, normally closed, and that's my second button. So normally closed, it's going to be hot, right? So let's start from the start. So I've got my first button, my button 1. I'll call it B1. I've got button 2, and I put a normally closed input. So if I don't do anything with button 2, it's going to be hot. And this is my green light. So now when I push my button, my green light goes on, and it goes hot here. I take my finger off the button, and my green light stays on, right? What happens when I push the second button? It's going to shut it off. So when I push it, I lose my signal there, turns off the green light, turns it off, and it doesn't come back on. So this is called seal-in logic. Let me show you on my computer. I've got this programmed. Here I've got something programmed on my computer. You can see on rung 0, I just have an output. So that's my green light up on the panel here. You can see it's on. By rung 1 and 2, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Cancel edits. So on rung 1 and 2, I've got seal in, and when I push one button, I've got latch and unlatch. So I can turn on my light and off my light, turn off my light. And then with this rung, I did seal in. So when I push my button, my light's gonna come on, but I have no way to turn it off. If I kill my power, let's see what my light does. So this first guy came back on, but my seal-in did not come back on. If I push the button, it's going to come on again, and it's going to stay on. But I don't have any way to turn it off, so let me just go offline. And I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I'll put in a normally closed, and my input, I'll just use this guy. Okay, now when I push my button, it's going to turn on my light, and my light stays on. When I push the second button, oops, which one I got? I put my brake in the wrong place. Just a second. So I'm not breaking my seal because I put it in the wrong spot. If I would follow my notes on the board, I'd be a little better off. Okay, my light is off. When I push the button, it turns the light on. When I push the second button, it turns it off. So I'm getting the same results that I get with latch and unlatch. But the big difference is when I kill the power, my light goes off. And when I turn it back on, it doesn't come back on.